young quarterbacks in the NFL under the most pressure. And here's how I'm defining pressure. Because there are a lot of players under pressure for a lot of different reasons. But these are all quarterbacks, all of whom are closer to the beginning than the ends of their careers, in some cases much closer, who I believe are playing for their careers. Which is to say, I think all 5 of these players will be career backups if this thing goes sideways on them this season. Here are my 5.
Number 5.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but 5 is Tua Tagovailoa. I believe Tua is playing for his job, at least in Miami. I think that is a team thinking championship thoughts. And look, the earlier reports are good. People are saying positive things about Tua, and I actually think he's going to be really good. But if he's not, I believe this team goes hard after insert name here. Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, whoever. They've got all of the different things that they need, all these draft picks, all this capital, all these assets to use to try and go after that. So I believe they do. I believe, as unfair as it may seem, this is Tua's chance to be the quarterback, at least in Miami. Because I think some other team might give him a chance. That's why I put him at 5. Because there are 4 others who I think have more pressure.
Number 4.
4 is my guy Sam. Sam Darnold, I think, is under that kind of pressure. I think he gets a golden opportunity as the starting quarterback in Carolina. They could have taken a quarterback in this year's draft. They didn't. I think they believe in him. He's got good weapons around him. He's got good receivers. He's got a healthy Christian McCaffrey behind him, I hope. So I think he's going to be great. But if he's not, then I think his next stop is as a backup. I think they move on from him. He doesn't have a contract. He didn't pick they did pick up his 5th-year option.
Yes, 2 years.
But even so, I don't think he's the starting quarterback there or anywhere the following year. I think at best he goes to someone's camp and gets a chance to compete for a starting job. So I think Sam is playing for that.
Number 3.
Number 3 is Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, I think the Giants have made all of these aggressive moves on offense, all the players they've brought in order to be able to give a fair assessment of Jones. And I think that's the right thing to do. I think that they will look at Daniel Jones and they will say, you're either going to get it done, kid, now or not. And if he doesn't, I think they move on. And don't discount the possibility of Aaron Rodgers there, by the way. But that's a whole other discussion we'll have another time. I think Jones is going to play well. But if he doesn't, I do believe that they will move on from him. Next,
Number 2
is Jameis Winston. If not now, when? Now, I have been a believer in Jameis Winston all the way back. I used to joke, I'm going to be the last one dying on that hill in Tampa, and I died. What can you say? I died. Tom Brady showed up and took the hill to a championship in 1 year. But if that doesn't motivate Jameis, what possibly could? This is the guy who was the number 1 pick in the draft 6 years ago. Number 1 pick, 6 years. And has shown so many flashes. It's not like he can't play. He can do so many things so well. The problem is he's good for 2 touchdowns for his team and 2 touchdowns for the other team in every game. If we can just cut that in half, he'd really have something. And he went and got, like he graduated from Florida State, he went and got a master's degree this year in advanced quarterback play from Sean Payton and Drew Brees. If not now, when? I believe he's going to play well. I believe he's going to win that starting job. That goes without saying. And I think he's actually going to make that offense more dynamic because by the end of it, Brees couldn't throw the ball downfield and Jameis can. And what was the stat you gave Lewis this morning that I really liked about Jameis throwing the ball downfield?
Well, yeah, I mean, in 2019, his last full season playing, he had 8 touchdowns against only 3 interceptions, throwing the ball down the field, 20-plus yards. His problem came on the underneath stuff. 27 of his 30 picks in 2019 came on short and intermediate routes, which is more what the Saints have been doing with Drew Brees.
Right, but I think that has been more because of Brees' limitations. Mm-hmm. So I think that is an interesting. I think he's going to be good. Now, this Michael Thomas thing is a mess. I don't know what the hell is going on there, but one way or another, if not now, when for Jameis Winston?
Number 1.
But number 1, and he's not as young as some of the other guys I've put in this discussion, but is Carson Wentz. And obviously he's hurt right now, and that's part of the problem, is that Wentz has never shown you that you can depend on him, and that is both true of his ability to stay healthy and his ability to kind of be the guy. Like, he had every chance in Philly. They gave him every chance to be the guy, including choosing him over Nick Foles, who's like a cult hero. And it didn't work. And now he goes to India and he's hurt already. And we're talking about, well, should they bring in Nick Foles? And the coach is like sending love letters to Nick Foles in press conferences. And I don't think they'll bring in Foles, mostly because I think that would be so damaging to the psyche of Carson Wentz. But that's the point.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.